wish I could tell you the first half of the divisional round was exciting. But really, the KC-Jags game had some excitement, but that was mostly because Mahomes went down. But then Mahomes did an amazing thing. We'll get into that. But that was close, but it really shouldn't have been. It ended up being close, but clearly the two teams are separate. But the Eagles versus the Gents was what they call a drubbing. So while the games themselves were not fantastic games, although the Chiefs-Jags game had some moments, and it did seem like it could have gone one way, but really it wasn't. It wasn't in the cards. There's underlining excitement because so far this postseason isn't as dramatic and as close and as fascinating as last year's. Last year's is like every game, every round was like, ooh, what's going on? This one's a little bit more about big guys stomping on little guys for the most part. There's a few exciting ones in there, but mostly big guys stomping on little guys. But the exciting part, the real exciting part, is these big guys are on a collision course in the conference round and the Super Bowl. However it looks like it's going to play out, both the conference games look to be very, very fascinating. And then the Super Bowl looks to have two very good teams in it. So I'm going to cover both divisional round games today, give the little whys and why-fors and what I saw and what I thought about it. So before I do that, I just want to say thanks for stopping by. I want to give you guys a shout out. I really appreciate it. It's late at night. Well, it's late at night for me. I don't know when you're watching this. So I just want to thank you for stopping by. Without you guys, without my sponsor, Ace Per Head, this show ain't going down. Ace Per Head's betting software is the premier white label platform for bookies to manage their players and grow their sportsbook operation. Click the link in the description below to get set up in minutes. Ask for the Curtis promo and get a special introductory discount. All right, we'll kick it off with the KC game. I was like, I wonder if it could get close because they got a tough defense, the Jags. And, Mahomes opened up being Mahomes. The way he throws that football, the different angles of jumping it, it's crazy. He is such a good quarterback, such an amazing talent. And I was like, But to the Jags' credit, they drove right down the field, and Lawrence had one of his own little jump pass touchdowns. It was a beautiful touchdown. This kid looks like he is really starting to have a nice high trajectory. But then it really got interesting. It was when Mahomes went down, and it looked bad. I was like, oh, man, are they really going to have to go with my man Hen? I remember drafting that guy with Parcells. Like, he's going to be our guy. Hopium of like the highest order right there. But anyway, Hen did a real good job, kept the team in the game. It was a lot of other reasons than Hen. We'll get into that. But Mahomes came back in the second half. He wasn't Mahomes, but he did enough Mahomes things to pull it out. It was really on the edge, even towards the end. Because the Jags did show they are a team on the rise. They're a team putting themselves together. And it could have gone the surprising way. But KC is they're looking really good. They've got a surprisingly good defense. They have some rookies that are really paying off for them. Nick Bolton, I love what he's doing. He's just a machine. He's like a modern day Zach Thomas. The guy is just unbelievable. I love the dude, But what really, really set the whole tone when Mahomes went down, Pacheco. That's it, Pacheco. I didn't even know who the guy was until I heard something about a Pacheco. But I am so impressed with Pacheco. The ability for them to run the football, and this is where I've been talking about to Bills fans about what they need over there in Buffalo. This guy turns his KC team into an ultra-dangerous offense. This guy ended up with 12 for 95, 7.9 yards per carry. He had 139-yard run, so that inflates it. But he took that one out. It was still just about 5 yards a carry. And he ran a 4.37 in his 40. and benched 27 reps of 225. Let me tell you, I was really good in my day. I was about 185 pounds, and I got 16, and I felt like a star. This guy, 27 at 216, 5'10", this guy's an animal. He's fast, he's strong, and he runs with an anger, with a force, with the velocity that really has me. I love this kid. I'm going to be watching him going forward. I don't know how long he'll last and all that other stuff. That's, but man, I really love what this kid can do. And he altered 95 yards in a time when Mahomes went down, and he had big pop runs, got him that touchdown. This guy is a stud and helped his team out. Now, Kelsey is another stud. Even with the hobbled Mahomes, with Hen in there, maybe with me in there, this guy is still going to do his thing. He is an ultra elite talent. 14 for 98, 2 TDs. So, Mahomes didn't have any sacks, even with the gimpy foot, and that really hurt the Jags. Now, Lawrence, 24 for 39, 5.6 per attempt, 1-1, 2 sacks. He had some plays in it. He had some moving plays. I love the one where he ran out and he put the shoulder into the cornerback there for the first down. He had that, like I said, he had the nice pass, but then he had that blitz at the end. But that wasn't really his fault. You saw twice where that guard just really missed an early rush inside. Now, that was a blitz the second time. The first time, if you had watched the game, it was defensive lineman. So the protection issues there really cost him, and that pick really came about. But that was a death knell. Now, Agnew had that big return right out the gate. He had another big return later. Unfortunately, that fumble killed the chances. Jags defense played really well. They got him in the 2/3, a 3rd-and-inch stop with the quarterback sneak or whatever it was. That was huge. And then there was the other one where they stopped KC and they got the ball back, but then that's when the pick came out. So they had the defensive stops, but there was a couple times along the way where there was 3rd and long, and they almost had Mahomes, and he did the thing like this. They're going to need to bump themselves up, but they really did show themselves well. Etienne, I like 10 for 62, 6.2 per carry. Jones, he had 5 for 83, 16.6 per carry. Kirk, I really like Kirk too. 7.4 only, 7 for 52 and a TD. But really, when you wrap it all up, rushing attempts, there's 144 yards by both teams, but only 18 rushes by the Jags and 30 by KC. Time of possession was 35 to 25. Obviously, the 2 turnovers hurt like a Dickens. But that turnover, that time of possession differential and run attempt differential and the production by Pacheco, got to work on his name, Pacheco, really was the key. And whoever's playing KC next, you better watch out for Pacheco. So overall, I think Jags have a lot to do as far as, not a lot to do, they have a lot of hope. They're in a really good situation. They're pulling things together. They did excellent with their free agents. I heard them saying they got a bunch of receivers because they love to practice. Peterson is doing a great job over there, and this team is going to be dangerous next year. KC, 5 conference champions. Who wants that? Unless they're a Dolphin. You don't want that, right? You want the Dolphins to be there. I can't believe 5 conference championships. I don't know what to say. This guy is super special. This team is unbelievable. Andy Reid is enshrining himself in the Hall of Fame. And this run game and defense is going to make it tough. I believe it's going to be Bills versus KC, and that's going to be an epic showdown. So, now the Eagles stomping a foot on the face of the Gents was kind of, I guess, a little expected, but this was like a domination. And to me, it opened up. I'm really impressed. I haven't really watched too much Eagles games this year. I'm an AFC guy. I am so impressed with this team. Oh, this team is built so well. It's exactly what I would want, for the most part, of how a team should be built. And I'm going to get into it. They are dangerous. They are such a dangerous team. And the Jinx didn't help them out. What was with that 4th and 8 on your own 42 in like the first quarter? Oh, Dable, man. Dable, what are you doing, man? I mean, you're probably going to get blown out anyway, but that was so terrible. I don't want to see that stuff again. So, another tight end, Fest Godert. He's another good tight end. He had a couple plays. I love that one play early on when he got the touchdown. He breaks the tackles. Then he had another one later on. He didn't get the touchdown, but he is such tight ends. When you got a good tight end who could even inline block okay and then still catch, it's such an asset. It's a security blanket for a quarterback. It helps the run game. It really hurts your team when you don't have a quality tight end. And there was 2 really good performances. I mean, Kelsey's was way better, but Godert's play was unbelievable. So then I want to talk about this. Anybody who watches me knows I love the O-line. Eagles have an O-line from hell for anybody who's going to play them. This is an unbelievable O-line, talent up the yin-yang, and I think whoever plays this team is screwed. Because when you've got an offensive line like this, if they come in and healthy and all that stuff, it makes everybody's life so much easier. You've got Johnson, Malata, Samalo, Dickerson, and Kelsey. Kelsey is so good. And this is my favorite play of the postseason so far. You can see it here. What use of leverage. One arm carry dump. That is so impressive for a guy who's about 40 or 50 pounds lighter than the other guy. It goes to show you technique, leverage is such an amazing asset, and you can maybe not be the biggest guy in the world, but if you got good technique, you could do all kinds of stuff. This offensive line generated 200 yards on a day and time of possession of 38 minutes to 22. That's how you get your 38-7 drubbing. I mean, there was a lot of all the stuff around it, but this offensive line had Miles Sanders 17 for 90. Very impressed coming off that shoulder. 2 touchdowns, 154 yards, rush TD. And then I was talking about Sanders. And then, look at this. Smith had 6 for 61. Brown was barely used 3 for 22. And they destroyed this team. There is so many areas to go to. I love the creativity of the offense. They're really good with their screen game. You can see here with Smith. Devonta Smith was a good find. They got him for trading back. And then I love the 3rd and 1 here. What a creative design to pick up the first down. They've just got so many avenues to attack. Brown can run block. He can catch. You got the tight end. Got to run the football. You can pass the football. The quarterback can run. This is an ultra dangerous team. And to me, they're the odds-on favorite to win it all if they can stay healthy. Because then you add in the defense. Fletcher Cox is still unbelievable. You got Reddick. He had 1.5 sacks in the game, 5 tackles, along with the rest. Jones was sacked 5 times. I mean, their offensive line's not great, but he's pretty mobile, and they were able to get to him, to harass him, and to screw up his day. This team doesn't really have a weakness. If they could go in healthy, to me, they're their odds-on favorite. Sorry, Bills fans. Jones, he's still an enigma. He's a little goofy. He has the contact thing. He loses his contact. But he has some nice passes and he has some good movement skills. He's a little more athletic than you think. But then he had that big play in the 3rd where he drops it in short when it could have been easy touchdown or a big play. But then, they had another pass that was dropped. It wasn't his fault. It was a little up and down. He still holds the ball, but there's something there. I just don't know if you could trust him going forward. 109 yards, 1 pick, but there was 5 sacks. You know, Barkley I liked. He had 9 for 61. You can see the play here with that little swing pass. He still got a lot of juice in him, but it doesn't seem like as much juice. I don't know if it's the offensive line that's not able to generate yards for him, or his body's not able to absorb it. There's still a lot of good stuff here, but it doesn't seem like to be what he used to be, but still a kid's a real talent. But I keep going back to that 4th and 8. That really, I don't understand that. Somebody help me out with that one. But, you know, the Giants were really outclassed totally. They never had a shot, but they should have played more conservative early on, trying to be more patient. That 4th and 8 kind of, once you're down 14, what do? You're kind of really screwed. So, anyway, hope you enjoyed. This is Curtis saying, catch you next time. Be well. See you soon. Start building your own online sports book today by getting signed up with aceperhead.com service that'll allow you to book action on sports from all around the world.